to you by GetGreatHair.biz. Features Monate hair care products. Samples and business opportunities are available at GetGreatHair.biz. Tuesday weather forecast, chance of showers today, mostly cloudy, breezy, and the high about 45 to 50. Partly to mostly clear overnight, that overnight temperature with less wind in the upper 20s and low 30s. It'll be back up around 50 Wednesday, partly to mostly sunny. Thursday, partly to mostly sunny, cooler in the mid to upper 40s. Chance of showers Thursday night and Friday. There might be a snow shower Friday, high Friday in the low 40s. Your life, your music. We're KLEK 102.5 FM.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. Spain's withdrawn the international arrest warrant it issued against former Catalan President Carles Puigdemont. The UK says it still hopes to reach a Brexit deal by the end of the week that will allow negotiations with the EU to move to the next phase. It follows a lack of agreement in Brussels on Monday. And Turkey says it might cut ties with Israel if the US moves, as expected, to recognise Jerusalem as the Israeli capital.
It's 9:01.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Tuesday to you. I hope that you're having a great start to your day. It is very chilly outside, so make sure you bundle up today. So today, I'm your host, Quabila Harden, and my special guest is Miss Shelly Anderson. Good morning. Thank you for joining me.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
And she is from the Arkansas PTA. Now, when we hear PTA, we think, okay, fundraisers and candles and cookie dough and popcorn and all that, but there's so much more that goes into what makes up the PTA, and she is here to shed some light on the myths and provide us with the facts of what really goes on with the PTA and what they're all about, and how you, the community, parents, if you don't have any children, how you can all get involved. So please give us some introduction of yourself and where you start. I know we had our own conversation, but tell everybody, how you got started with PTA in general, and then how you got to where you are now.
Well, of course, it all started with my own children. I think that's how it probably starts for all of us. But I became involved with the Parent-Teacher Association several years ago. I think about 16 years ago now. I have two children, and both children, being siblings, you would think they might be somewhat similar, but like most, they are complete opposites. Both of my children needed a little bit of special attention for different reasons. Okay. I had a daughter who was gifted and needed the extra work, needed the extra attention in a way that maybe she was excelling past the normal classroom rigor, and just needed that extra push so that she didn't become complacent and lazy. And then I had a son who he had some sensory issues as a young child, and so he became a little bit delayed in his learning. Was ultimately diagnosed with ADHD, and so he needed a little bit of extra attention as far as just being patient with him to get things done, and maybe some little extra attention or maybe a little extra time in testing, just different things like that. And so I learned very quickly that I am my children's biggest advocate. Okay. Well, once I had my kids settled, I thought, what about all these other kids who maybe they don't have a mom or a grandma or an aunt or uncle or dad or grandpa or whomever who would stand up and fight for them for their special needs? Because let's face it, every child has something special, some special talent, some special, hidden gem that we need to help pull out of them. And so having that advocate, that voice that kind of knows how to work things with an adult mind is certainly a good booster to help those children to find their own way.
Yes, ma'am. Because the teacher can only do so much.
They can.
They have maybe 20, maybe 30 children in their class. And so I applaud all of the teachers who are out there, trying to reach every student. Who are trying their best to reach every student and make the teaching universal but still individualized to some degree.
Right.
They can only do so much.
That's right. And every teacher starts with those 20 or 25 new students every single year. So it takes them a little bit of time to get to know the individual child.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so what we may see as a child acting out, they could be acting out for attention, but not acting out because they're quote unquote bad. And I really hate to use that term, bad kids.
Right.
Children have emotional issues just like adults.
Sure.
And they just don't know how to effectively express it. So having another entity, another person outside the teacher come in to maybe monitor, witness, facilitate, I don't know, I'm sorry what word you would like to put there, but having that extra person there, I'm sure, is very beneficial.
Yeah.
Not just for the teacher, for the student, but for the school as a whole.
That's right. That's right. And every study that I've ever read shows that family involvement or parental involvement, whomever that might be, is the key to student success. Okay. So in order for children to truly succeed, having that core group behind them certainly propels them.
Okay. So let's get right into, what PTA stands for those who may not know, which everyone at this point in their life hopefully knows what PTA stands for.
Well, we are the Parent Teacher Association. Okay. We are 120 years old, and we are 4 million members strong, 24,000 of which are right here in Arkansas. Like you said prior, a lot of people confuse us with a fundraising entity. We are not. We are so far from that. In fact, that's just a necessary evil. If there's some way that we could move away from never having to sell another box of cookie dough, trust me, we all would. What we're here to do is to be advocates on every level. We work very closely with our legislators and our governor and our legislators in D.C. even, to talk to them about what it is that's actually going on with our kids in the schools. And like I explained to you earlier, we don't necessarily have a dog in the hunt because we're not paid employees. We're certainly not, marching the streets of Little Rock with picket signs or anything like that. We're just parents who want the best for our kids, the best for our teachers, the best for our schools, which ultimately equals the best for our community.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, who would you say would make a great person? Well, okay, any parent would be great to be a part of the PTA.
That's right.
But we need people who are going to be proactive,
right?
Who are willing to look at policies and procedure and not necessarily question everything, but question some things that don't seem right or that don't seem fair to the children.
Right.
Because the children spend a good portion of their day in school.
Yeah.
The next portion is at home, either doing homework, dinner time, some family time, extracurricular activities, and then it's bedtime. So they need to get quality education. They need quality activities. They need quality all the way around in every aspect. Quality lunches. Right. And we talked about this also, and I wanted to definitely get into the lunch aspect a little bit more. But I want people to really get a deeper understanding of what purpose PTA serves for the schools. So again, if you want to learn more information about, now we're talking about Arkansas PTA because we're in Arkansas. You can go to www.arkansaspta.org. When I tell you there's a wealth of information on this website, there's like so much information. It will take a while to read through all of this.
It took a while to type it, so thank you.
So we thank you for all the hard work you put into developing and designing this website. There's links that are clear to see that take you to different pages that gives you more and more information.
Yeah.
So
a lot of that does come from our national PTA website, and that's something else a lot of people don't understand. They think that PTA is just in their school. That's not true. It's at the state level. It's at the national level, and in fact, we even have some units in Europe. So we are kind of all over the place, and we watch from afar what's going on with our neighboring states, with our neighboring schools, and in our own backyard.
that is awesome.
Yeah.
So let's talk about on the first tab. I know we can't go through every single thing today, but on the first tab, it talks about us. It talks about diversity and inclusion.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's get into that. I'm trying to get it to open here. Shoot.
That's actually very much at the heart of what I would like to accomplish in my next 2 years is really just sending out the message of how important it is to be diverse in our schools and to be diverse in our cultures and to try to understand each other. You know, I think understanding might be the key to a lot of the problems that we have socially right now. And not to get off on that, because that would be a whole other conversation. But we need to understand our neighbors, because every one of us come in all different shapes, sizes, colors. You know, we all have our own backgrounds. And every bit of it makes us special. So it doesn't necessarily matter, you know, where you come from. It's about where you're going, and you need to look at who's going with you. And if you're in a school where everything is the same, how are you going to learn from that? If you're in a neighborhood where everything is the same, how are you going to grow from that? So I think that we can learn and grow by getting to know our neighbors and understanding and appreciating our differences. And so we're doing everything we can to really pull that together. In fact, we've been involved in several different really fun things. Most recently, we did the Pride Day March in Little Rock. So we certainly support our LGBTQ students. I mean, they deserve that. They don't deserve to be bullied at school just because they're different, or what we perceive as being different. It's not different for them. That's their life. And you know, just because you're of a different religion or a different race, or it just makes you special in your own way. So I think that we need to learn to communicate better so that we can understand each other better.
Yes, I am a big advocate for the community, and I'm always trying to encourage people to get to know your neighbor. I've been slacking some because I stay in my own little corner of the world sometimes, but at the same time, I would love to really get out and be among my community and get to know people from different sides of town, different backgrounds, like you say, so that we can find a way to work together and increase the quality of everybody's life. And so the PTA, from my understanding, comes in to help start with the school, because that's where we all start. At some point, if you're fortunate enough to go to school, you know, that's where our life kind of starts, you know, from preschool to kindergarten and 12th grade, and then most of us go on off to college. So we're in a school setting at some point. And in fact, you mentioned college, not to get off base, because I know that you're going through the website, but one thing that we're very, very passionate about is every student graduating college and career ready. That college and career. That doesn't necessarily mean that every student is set on a path to go to college, and they shouldn't be. We need career-minded people just as much as we need college-minded people. You know, it amazes me when I drive down the road and I see people holding signs that says welders needed. I mean, I remember back in my earlier childhood days when there were so many men with technical trades, and women too, and these days that's just not the case. So we need to be graduating students who are college and career ready, and we're very passionate about that. Yes, and I remember growing up in a rural area, and it was pushed, go to college, you know, get a high earning degree. You know, it wasn't about find something you're passionate or even good at. Just get a degree that's going to pay well.
That's going to make your money and that's pay your bills. That's right.
And so a lot of people get burnt out and end up still going back to their passion anyway.
That's right. I did.
That's where I am now. Okay, so let's talk about some of the programs that fall under PTA.
Sure.
I'm looking at the pull down list and it says awards. There's one called Be a Pig.
Yep.
Education Connection, Health and Safety, Male Engagement. I definitely want to touch on that.
Great.
Reflections, Scholarship, and School Bus Safety. Now that's another important one as well.
Yes.
Let's talk about the male engagement.
Okay.
I'm studying sociology, and so in one of my courses we looked at how schools have become, this is in my gender course, and so many things in our society have become feminized.
Yes.
Including teaching.
That's
the
right.
teaching field. There are not enough men in the teaching field. Boys go to school, but boys are expected to act and conduct themselves like girls because they're being taught by women. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just boys need a reflection of themselves as well. They need to see someone that looks like them.
Yes.
So let's talk about how you all try to address that issue.
Well, we partnered with several other nonprofit organizations in order to sort of spread the word of the importance of having the male engagement in the schools. It's one of those things that you almost can't put into words. You would have to see it. Okay. But when a daddy walks into school, it is a whole other world. There can be 15 of us women running around taking care of those children or whatever that the teacher needs, sweating, busting it. But dads walk in,
and it's like a whole
it's like the world has stopped. Everybody wants to know who he is, what he's doing here. It is the most amazing thing. And it doesn't matter if dad shows up for 10 minutes just to read a story to the class or for 15 minutes to help with the, getting the kids across the street to safely to school. It really doesn't matter in what capacity that a male is on that campus. It just makes a world of difference, not just to the boys, which you would think, but also to the girls. The girls see, I think, and I'm totally guessing here, but I would think that the girls see a little bit more of a sensitive side of a man when he walks in, a little bit more of a compassionate and caring side. He is actually here for me, as opposed to, dad goes and makes the money, he comes home, mom has dinner ready, and in 1950s that was great, but we're not living in that world today. Today, most of the time, mom is just as busy as dad. Mom is carrying the load just as much as dad. However, mom still is in the school, helping, fundraising, there's that awful word again, doing whatever she needs to do to help the school, the child, the teacher, the administration to succeed. Dad kind of thinks that it's mom's role. But the kids, they don't see us as roles. They see us as individuals. And there's something about those males. And like I said, it's just magic. You would just have to witness it with your own eyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have watched numerous videos on Facebook where some dads have taken the initiative, and especially in the black community, that's really lacking. And I'm not trying to put anybody down. Please don't come for me. But it has just been statistically proven in the black communities that most dads are absent. Right. And so there have been a lot of videos circulating. Dads have taken the initiative to step up. There was one where the dads literally stood in the line, and as the kids got off the bus, they were just greeting all the kids. It was wonderful, and the kids just lit up.
They light up. That's right. It makes their whole day. There
was another one where there was a program at school, and the dads escort their daughters across the basketball court. It was, I don't want to say it was a dance. It was something where the dads escort the girls, but there was several girls who didn't have dads. So several of the other dads, oh my God, they stepped up and walked this little girl who didn't have one. And so it was just like the whole room just cheered, and it was amazing to see all of these dads stepping up and being that taking their rightful place in the family, whether them and the mom were together or not. They made a point to be there for their child.
Yeah, that's so important.
I would love to see that happen all over the place. I know that I don't know the statistics on male teachers, but I would love to see the numbers just grow even more. I mean, we see a lot of male professors on the college level. I would love to see it more in the elementary level.
Right.
as well. Excuse me.
Or even in high school, students tend to not only succeed better with their studies, but they tend to be more well behaved with a male teacher. So not to put the female teachers down, because some of them are pretty strict.
Yes,
but it's kind of like you said with the videos, and they go viral. Even for us adults, there's something about that magic of that bond of the father and the children. So I think that that may be even why those videos are going viral, because it just touches everybody. And if you want to see your kids succeed,
Yes.
get engaged. It's that simple. Just get engaged. If you have 10 minutes a week or even 10 minutes a month to do something with the child where they live, and I don't mean their home, I mean their school, where they're at, then you will really see a difference in your child, in the success of their grades and their attitude, and just all around happiness in their life. You got to get engaged.
Yes. And kind of we have like a minute or so left, so I don't want to get into another deeper into another topic. I just want to express that I have seen a lot with some families, and it kind of upsets the mom, because the mom is busting her butt doing everything. Yeah. But when the dad comes around, the child is like a whole different person.
Yep.
And so I would love to just encourage dads, even if you and the mom are not together, you may not be getting along the best. Please, like you said, be present for your child.
Yeah.
Find a way to engage and make it, just be that present force, that positive presence in their life.
Yep.
It will make the world a difference. I can tell you from personal experience, not having versus having,
right?
It can make a world of difference.
It really can.
Children grow up, they don't realize until they're a little older why their behavior is the way it is. But looking back, it has a lot to do with parental involvement.
Absolutely.
And I'm not going to get into a whole psychology lesson here, but let's just say it makes a difference.
It does.
And then even the dads that are present, they live in the home, be more physically and emotionally present.
That's it. Yeah, especially the emotional part. Absolutely. Yeah. Just listen. Listen to your kids. Have fun with them. Be interested in what they're interested in. Hate the things that they hate. I know that sounds funny, but if you're sitting at the dinner table trying to go over math and everybody's crying, cry with them. Hate what they hate, love what they love, and just be involved and engaged.
Okay. So we're going to have to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll pick up on some more of the programs and things that the PTA does within the schools. Stay tuned and we'll be right back.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
Are you trying to help your child choose a spouse? I'm Mark Merrill with today's Family Minute. In his book, The Sacred Search, author Gary Thomas shares how to teach your children to choose a spouse who they love and also respect. He emphasizes choosing someone with common values and common vision, someone they truly enjoy spending time with. Gary shares that the reward for making a wise marital choice is so tremendous that he doesn't want you to miss it. And the consequences for making a foolish choice can be so painful and lasting that he doesn't want you to experience it. Listen to my podcast interview with Gary at markmerrill.com as we discuss more on how to coach your child to choose the right spouse. Remember, your family first.
Want to connect with Mark on Facebook? You can at facebook.com/Mark Merrill.
Family Minute is made possible by the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, a non-profit organization committed to service to all mankind. Kappa Nu Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha on Facebook and KNOMEGA1908.com.
For almost 3 years, KLEK 102.5 FM has brought you the music you love on your radio, on your computer, and on your phone. Now, we want to bring the music to your party, wedding, or any event. KLEK now offers DJ services for all occasions with over 22 years of DJ and broadcast experience. We can also announce your event on KLEK. Need a photographer for that special occasion? We got that covered too. Package deals available. Book us for DJ, photography, or for both for your event today. Call 870-203-9951 or look us up on social media at KLEK FM.
Karaoke and photo booths with a custom design of your event are also available.
Meineke of Jonesboro is now Starks Auto Service, a full-service auto repair and vehicle maintenance center, offering engine and transmission repair, brake service, tires, oil changes, and more, performed by ASE certified mechanics. The all-new Starks Auto Service, 2813 South Caraway Road in Jonesboro, 870-204-7112. Starks Auto Service, Jonesboro.com.
Courtesy Productions and KLEK presents the first annual Christmas and Blues Southern Soul Showcase featuring Billy Soul Bonds, Charles Wilson, Mo B, and Ricky White. Live December 16th at the Epic Center, 1899 CR 333 Hasbrook Road, Jonesboro. Showtime 7 p.m. Ticket, VIP, and other info 870-203-9951 or klekfm.org.
Craighead County Clerk Cade Holliday hopes that you and your loved ones will enjoy the special gifts of this Christmas and holiday season. The gift of love, the gift of peace, the gift of happiness. Christmas and the holidays are not only a time for spreading a message of cheer and goodwill, but also a time to say thank you to the citizens of Craighead County. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you from Craighead County Clerk Cade Holliday.
Metro PCS 1001 East Johnson Avenue hope that you will enjoy the special gifts of this holiday season. The gift of love, the gift of peace, and the gift of happiness. For the staff of Metro PCS, the holidays are not only a time for spreading a message of cheer and goodwill, but also a time to say thank you for your patronage and trust. Merry Christmas and happy holidays from Metro PCS 1001 East Johnson Avenue, Jonesboro, Arkansas.
Support for KLEK is brought to you by
Fullness of Joy Ministries, 2120 Thorn Street, Jonesboro, under the direction of Bishop Adrian Rogers and co-pastor Susan Rogers. www.fjministries.org.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I'm your host, Kobila Hart, and my special guest is Mrs. Shelly Anderson from the Arkansas PTA, where she serves as the president. And so we were, in the first part of the show, we talked about basically what PTA is and how it serves the schools, but we can still go a little deeper because we just want you to get your mindset away from it's not just a fundraising organization. No. It's all about advocacy as well.
Absolutely. Being
a voice for the child.
Yes.
And maybe for the teacher as well, but definitely for the child that is in whatever school they attend.
Yes.
We also have had another conversation about, what it means for public school versus charter schools, and I know that's a really hot topic right now.
Topic, yes.
Before we get to that deep conversation, I do want to bring up something kind of lighthearted but still important.
Sure.
I was looking through the website and ran across one of your programs called Be a Pig. And so this is so cute. You have to go check this out. Again, the website is arkansaspta.org. And go under programs, and it says Be a Pig, P-I-G. I apologize for my voice right now. I hope it lasts you the show. Okay, so tell us more about how this got started and who named the pig.
Well, it has progressed through, I think, 3 presidents now. It started out as just a fun little thing, an acronym, BEAPIG, and each letter stands for something to keep a PTA unit in good standing. One thing that's a little bit different about PTA from any other regular parent association or PTO or anything like that is we are a true nonprofit. We are separate from the schools. We are our own 501c3. And so even though we support usually an individual school, we're our own individual nonprofit. So each letter in the acronym stands for something to keep them in good standing. Like the B in Be a Pig is do your bylaws. Your E is make sure you have elected officials. Your A is you have to do your audit report. Your P is you have to pay your dues. That awful $5 a year.
Oh, no.
The I is you have to have insurance, bond insurance, and then the G is your government reporting, because again, we are a 501c3.
Okay.
And so all of those fun things put together are the Be a Pig, and it has turned into such a fun thing. We now have a mascot called Suey, which I'm sure we all know resonates from the Razorbacks. And Suey is kind of like the old Flat Stanley. He gets shipped, or she. Sometimes it's a she, sometimes it's a he. So, so she gets shipped all over the United States and sometimes the world, and goes and visits different PTAs and schools and different things. So it's just turned into this really fun thing to do.
And there's a sliding picture show, I guess you say. I just lost my word for that. Slideshow. And you can see all the places that Suey has gone and people that she's interacted with, and it's so fun to look at these pictures. Now, of course, Red Wolves are kind of coming up, so we might have to throw a wolf.
Well, in fact, we had our last convention in April. That's when I became the president,
Okay.
and we had it here at ASU.
Okay.
And so she was all dressed up in Red Wolves attire, and yes, and there was some argument about, hey, what is this pig thing? We're wolves on this side of it, but that was set long before me. So, so we're trying to figure out how to incorporate some red wolves into it
All
too.
right. So we might have to get a little stuffed towel.
There you go.
To travel with Suey.
That's right.
Alrighty, so let's talk about some more programs. There was another one that's also very important. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place right now. But under your programs, school bus safety.
Yes.
We have seen a lot of bus accidents and children are not strapped down. And I know there's been a debate, okay, are seatbelts safe? Are they economical? Are they necessary? And okay, so give us the rundown.
A couple of years ago, we decided that we wanted to sort of tackle that and get to the bottom of it and learn as much as we could about how to keep our children safe while they're traveling to and from school. At the time, there was a lot of debate as to whether or not we should figure out how to install seatbelts in every single school bus.
Okay.
Most of which would have to be retroactively fitted, so it becomes even more expensive. The new ones that are rolling off the line could certainly be, built that way, which makes it much simpler. However, we held a legislative day and had many speakers come in and give us wonderful information. And what we learned is that most of the time, in fact, 96% of the time, the unsafe area for the students is the loading zone outside of the bus, and that's because of our drivers on the road. Very few accidents happen where, and I need to knock on some wood, but that students are harmed in the school bus. Most of the time, because of the compartmentalized way that they've built the seats, the students are safe inside the bus, believe it or not, even without a seatbelt. But it's when they're getting on and off of that school bus that we have to worry, because even though that school bus is stopped and that arm is out with the stop sign and all the flashing lights, believe it or not, people still go flying around those buses. They don't know the rules, and most of the time, our laws are kind of laxed. I mean, yes, they're there, but do they enforce them? Not often. So we really set forth an initiative to educate drivers, parents, teachers, students on the importance of being safe in and around the school bus.
I do want to give a shout out to the Jonesboro Police Department.
They're awesome.
They have been cracking down. They are posted up now most of the time at the different schools.
Yep.
As many officers as they can allocate, and they are watching for people that are on their cell phones.
Yep.
Texting in the bus line is now prohibited.
Yes, it is.
Is that the right word?
Yep.
Okay. No, if the officer sees you with your phone, anything, you get a ticket. Even in traffic, you get a ticket if they see you with your phone. So I want to give a shout out to JPD for stepping up and trying to help keep our kids safe.
Yep. But we need to help them by being mindful and not trying to sneak and not trying to, go 5 miles over the speed limit in those school zones.
If you see the red stop sign, just stop and wait.
That's right.
Even if you don't see a child, there may be a reason the bus is still sitting there.
Right.
They're waiting on someone to either get off or they're waiting someone to get safely to where they're going. what if it was your child
Yep.
that was getting on and off that bus? Wouldn't you want the same respect for your child?
No.
So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
If it's your niece or your nephew, keep that in mind. So
there are several short videos on our website.
Okay.
Some are only 30 seconds long. So if anybody has time to go and check those out and learn about the loading zones and the importance of school bus safety, I highly encourage you to go. That information is already there. You don't have to research it. It's right there.
Passing on the right is wrong. If the bus is stopped, your rush isn't worth there. I can't read the rest of it. Sorry. Anyway, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 videos. So please go check that out. Again, it's arkansaspta.org. Okay, so let's talk about another entity, another topic. Like I said, that's very hot right now because of what's going on with the government and charter schools versus public schools. And again, this is not to just bash any one particular school, but we need to talk about the potential harm that
I personally have absolutely no problem with charter schools. Charter schools can exist, and I think that if it's a good fit for your child, then that's great with me. Whatever works best for your child. Private schools as well. But my issue is taking public funding, our tax dollars, and putting them into private and charter schools. Public education funding needs to stay in public education. That's what it's allocated for. That's where it needs to stay. So we are in a huge campaign right now. It's Stop Cuts to Classrooms, #, Stop Cuts to Classrooms.
Stop Cuts to
And you will see that all over our social media and our website. And it's not necessarily that cuts are being made so much as either A, they're shifting those funds and putting them into the charter and or private schools, or B, as things begin to get more expensive, and they do every day, things tend to get more expensive, we are not thinking about the cost of education. That money is staying exactly the same. Okay. So as things are becoming more expensive, but yet we're still giving the same amount of money, we're not necessarily helping the problem, as long as we're not keeping up with inflation, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So PTA has an initiative called 5 cents makes sense, and the reason that we say that is because only about 3 cents out of every tax dollar goes to education. So we are saying 5 cents would make more sense. It's not a whole lot more, but you would be amazed what 2 pennies will do. It would make a huge difference. So number one, more money needs to be allocated for public education, and number two, the money that is allocated for public education needs to stay in public education and not go to these public and charter schools.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so there you have it.
So be real careful when you're voting this year. 2018 is an election year,
Yes.
and just look at what that particular individual's platform is for education.
Yes,
Yep.
Please pay attention.
It's so important for our community,
And
whether you have children or not.
Yes,
I mean,
ma'am.
these are the future employees of your community.
Excuse me, I'm
Bless
so sorry. So yes, please take time to look at each candidate and what they stand for. Don't just vote the popular person. Look at their whole platform all the way around and the issues that matter to you, because they're going to be in office for another 4 years,
depending on their
depending on their 2 to 4 years. So we need someone in those positions that are looking out for the greater good of the people.
That's right.
Not just their own personal agendas.
That's right. Or their own party's agendas. Yes.
And again, we're not going to go into a political tangent.
No.
But just pay attention at the polls. That's all I can say. And vote for who stands for what you believe in. Okay, so let's look at other. I was looking at your website. Okay, under Arkansas PTA programs, we talked a little bit about family engagement. There's a health and safety tab, and then there's arts and education.
Yes,
and that's one thing we see that is starting to really diminish is the arts, whether it's music, visual arts, performing arts. And I may have missed another one, but arts in general are slowly diminishing in the school curriculum. Why? Why?
I think that that's just one of the easiest places to cut funding. I'm not exactly 100% sure because I've never sat on a school board, but my gut tells me it's just one of the easier places to cut funding. And it doesn't necessarily bring in much revenue. When is the last time you attended a high school musical? No. But our schools are putting them on all the time. Why don't we go? Why don't we support these things? But when's the last time you went to a high school football game?
Last week.
See? So they're not going to cut the sports when it generates revenue. So we have to really support these things so that we're supporting every child, because like I said prior, every child has a special, unique talent, and maybe it's not football, maybe it's choir, maybe it's art, maybe it's drawing.
Yes.
And even in today's society, a lot of the things that we do with computers can be considered artistic.
Yes.
So you mentioned East Lab and the East Initiative earlier. That is such a phenomenal class that our students can take, and they can really explore their artistic side with the East Initiative as well.
And one thing that I've seen pop up more, we've heard of STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and now they're adding the A, making it STEAM, adding the arts into that, because
it turns us on. It turns our mind on, and when our mind is turned on, we're open to everything else.
And we don't realize how all of those different entities can actually coexist, how they actually interact with each other.
Yes.
Math and arts can work together. Engineering and arts. Someone can take something metal or plastic, whatever. They can take an object and turn it into an art project.
Sure.
So all of those different things go hand in hand. When you're with math and art, when it comes to drawing and being measuring,
right?
You have to use math and art to some degree when it comes to getting proportions just right, depending on what the picture.
You're going to be a contractor, an architect, any of those things that are way over my head. Yeah.
So yes, they all play. They all go together and work hand in hand. So, and it's sad that you hear more noise about arts being taken away when it's at the point of being taken away versus when it's readily available. Like you said, people don't support it as much. Yes, we have other places like here in Jonesboro, we have the Foundation of the Arts, and we have other separate art theater companies. Yes, people support that, but again, let's start with our schools.
That's right. That's right.
Not everyone is eligible to go to those different those extracurricular after school activities or places. They have to engage in what's readily available, and that's free, quote unquote, for them right there in the school.
That's right. PTA does have, and I think that's what you found on our website, we have what's called Reflections. It's an art contest, and there's several different ways that you can enter. It's not just the traditional painting.
Okay.
There's also photography. There's dance. There's, I guess it's choreography.
Okay.
All different different ways to enter. And in fact, we even have a special artist category, and maybe that's for our students who are who have a different way of learning. They have an IEP, or they're maybe in a different setting. Those students who maybe need a little bit of extra help.
Okay.
So we love our Reflections. That has been going on for many, many, many years. You start at the local level in your own school. It goes to the state level. You get to come to convention and get an awesome award at the state level. And then you can even go to the national level and get sent to national convention. Last year it was in Las Vegas. This year it's going to be in New Orleans. It's always in a really fun place. And so if you're into art, go to arkansaspta.org, check out our Reflections tab. If you're not a PTA school, we will find a school to sponsor you.
Okay. And I want to mention that entries, if you're interested in applying and submitting artwork for this competition, entries must be in the possession of Arkansas PTA by 3 o'clock Monday, January 15th, 2018. And there is a name, a contact person, and address to ship or hand deliver your pieces too, and this is right in Wiener.
Yes,
which is right up the road
Miss
from us.
Elisa is our reflections chair, and she's right here in Northeast Arkansas in Wiener, Arkansas.
So Wiener is like pretty much maybe a 30-45 minute.
Oh, maybe.
Not even that far.
30 minutes at the most.
So please go to arkansaspta.org and look at the programs tab and go to reflection. What's it called? Reflections?
Yes, Reflections Art Contest. Shoot us an email. We'll find you a sponsor.
And the theme for this year is called Within Reach. So can you tell us more about what that theme means?
Well, that's a tough question because with a theme like that, we do a new theme every year. And in fact, we even do a theme contest where the students can submit. And it's always chosen from one of the submissions that a student sends.
Okay.
But it's, what does it mean to you? What is within reach for you?
Oh.
And that can mean so many millions of things.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay. So how would you define that in your artwork, in your choreography, in your photography, in whatever it is that you feel passionate about?
That is so awesome. So I would love to encourage parents, friends of parents, anybody, aunties, uncles, grandparents, encourage your child to express their creativity through their artwork. On the list it says dance choreography, film production, literature, music composition, photography, and visual arts. Let's get these kids active.
Let's get them active. Let's do it. Yep.
Let's show what we have right here in Arkansas. Because oftentimes Arkansas gets kind of looked down and pushed to the side, but we got a lot of great things here happening.
We have a lot of great things.
Okay, so we've talked about scholarships.
Yes.
Let's talk about scholarships.
Yes. We do offer scholarships every single year. We do try to scholarship those going into the teaching field because we are PTA. But not only those going into the teaching field, but teachers who are already teaching and want to go on and get further accreditation or certification.
Oh.
So if you are a teacher or if you are thinking of becoming a teacher, please, again, go to our website, check out our scholarship page. If you're not a PTA school, shoot us an email. We'll try to find you a sponsor. If you're not a PTA school, let me help you to become one.
Okay.
We have too many wonderful things to offer.
All right, so there you have it. If your child goes to a school that's not a PTA school, reach out to Miss Shelly. Go to arkansaspta.org. Is your contact information on this website as well?
It sure is.
Okay.
If you click on contact and then board of managers, you'll find mine. But my email is very simple. It's PRES, short for president, PRES.ARPTA for Arkansas PTA, and that's at Gmail. So
All right.
easy breezy.
All right, so we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap up some more information and let Miss Shelly give us some final thoughts on Arkansas PTA and then PTA as a whole for the local school district. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. If you have a budget, but you can't seem to stick to it, you could be buying into seductive sales language that causes you to overspend. The key is to understand the truth about commonly used sales tactics and the reality checks you need to remember to keep your spending under control. For example, take the claim, limited time only. This gives you the impression that the great deal you're being offered will never happen again, which is almost never true. The key to controlling your spending is to shop based on what you actually need and can afford and have budgeted for. Resist invitations to spend outside your budget based on what you supposedly deserve, what everyone else is buying, or the so-called once-in-a-lifetime deal or sale. The more money you spend, the less money you'll have left to save. Don't trust anyone who tells you otherwise. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters, a product of American Urban Radio Networks.
Money Matters is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization dedicated to uncompromising commitment to communities, service, leadership, empowerment. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Money Matters is brought to you by Bancorp South, offering checking, savings, loans, credit cards, and wealth management. 5 locations in Jonesboro to serve you. www.bancorpsouth.com or 870-972-9800.
Danny Ford, owner of Glen Sain Motors in Paragould, strongly believes in the values of family and hard work with a commitment to the men and women of the U.S. Armed Forces who keep America free, providing sales and servicing of Chevys, GMCs, Buicks, and Cadillacs, located at 6345 Highway 49 in Paragould. 870-565-4358. Details at glensainparagould.com and at klekfm.org. God bless our troops.
KLEK thanks CJ Pepper and the staff of Life Strategies Counseling Incorporated for helping people through hard times in life such as depression, family issues, stress, abuse, and more. They offer counseling and therapy for all ages, individuals, families, and groups. They are located at 1217 Stone Street. Phone number 1-866-972-1268 or online at lscihelp.com.
Warm wishes for a season bright with special happiness. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from Craighead County E911 Director Jeff Presley.
From the KLEK Community Calendar, First Baptist Church, 700 Kitchen Street, Jonesboro, Arkansas, Reverend Curtis Wilson, pastor, presents Annual Legend Luncheon, celebrating seniors ages 62 and older, December 9th from 12 o'clock p.m. until 2 o'clock p.m. Parking will be available. More information is available via Billy J. Hill at fbckitchenjonesboro@gmail.com or 870-935-7710 or 870-926-0756.
Did you know KLEK has a brand new streaming app? That's right, you can listen to KLEK 102.5 FM anywhere in the world. The app is available for all Android phones and tablets, as well as iPhones and iPads. Just search your app store for KLEK and download the KLEK app for free today. And don't miss a beat of the education, entertainment, and empowerment on KLEK 102.5 FM.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, welcome back to the last segment of Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. And we're speaking with Mrs. Shelly Anderson from the president of the Arkansas PTA. And I don't know about you all, but I've really been enjoying this conversation. You have opened my mind up to some things I thought I knew, but you have really shed more light on them. And so, I think one thing we haven't really discussed, we talked about off-air lunches in schools. Now, we see a lot of kids complaining about lunch this, lunch that. It's either doesn't taste good, it's just not good quality, or just whatever the case may be. And we discussed off air how we don't see the same little old ladies,
right?
With the hairnet,
right?
And people that knew your parents and they knew your grandparents and all of that. Those people are not in the kitchen anymore.
Right, that's right. In fact, when I was in school, my grandmother was one of the lunch ladies. So she was preparing food for me and for my friends, and to make sure that we were taken care of. But I don't think that that's necessarily the norm anymore. A lot of our public schools have gone to more of these paid companies that come in, and I get it, because it's one less thing that that they have to worry about. Our administrators are just busy, covered up, juggling. I don't think we realize how busy they are trying to run those schools. And so to tell them you don't have to worry about school lunch anymore, or those employees, or all the ordering, or the the funding, all you do is have to pay a company to take care of it. It's one less thing for them to take care of. However, when you outsource, just like with anything else, let's say you outsource somebody to clean your house. Are they going to clean it the way that you cleaned it? Mm-hmm. Probably not. So it's just one of those really tough things that once you outsource, we really have no say in the situation. The contract is signed. It is what it is. And then on top of that, we've had legislation to say, this is what can be served. This is the portion that has to be served. This is the ingredients that have to be in the portion of the item that has to be served. And so it's made it very, very tough because we want our children to eat healthier. However, by giving them these healthier options, they're saying no. They, obviously we love chicken nuggets and pizza. So why are you giving us apples and corn on the cob? Most kids love apples and corn on the cob, but some don't, and so they wind up in a garbage can, and it becomes the basis of a discussion in which it should. How to solve this problem, I do not know. Hopefully there's somebody out there who will come to us and say, I have a great idea, because I'm willing to listen. But right now, school lunches, they're just kind of a huge debate, and I have no answer.
And I know I'm on the outside looking in, but being in this position with the station, we often conduct surveys to see what the community, the listeners, they want from us. And so, in a lot of companies, they conduct surveys. Please tell us how our service was.
Sure.
I'll often get these emails if I call a customer service line. We noticed you just called. Can you tell it? So from the outside looking in, I would think, okay, why won't these companies, or maybe can the school conduct a survey of the parents and the students and then send it back to these corporations and say...
I do think a lot have. I know that my children's homeschool have done that, and I think that they do try to communicate with the parents and the students to find out, what their needs are or what their wants are. But where that goes from there, I'm not real sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe the breakdown is, or the issue is, we need more people that work for these corporations that are more passionate about the children and the people that they serve and are not looking at just a dollar. It's okay, are we willing to risk X amount of dollars so that we can provide more quality, and okay.
Well, I think the employees at the ground level, those that are actually doing the job, they care about the kids. How can you see these kids every day and not care? I mean, these are genuine people. These are our neighbors. They do care about our kids. However, they're working for a business, just like you and I work for a business. We can only do what's within the constraints or the guidelines of that business. So it's not just the people who are working in the schools. These are the higher ups that probably need to stop and look at the bottom line and think about what's more important, the children or their bottom line. And maybe they're already doing that and they're trying to find a way. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt and think that they are trying to find a way. But right now there's this just huge juggle of what works economically and what the children were actually putting in their mouth and putting in their belly.
So do you think that there could be more communication between, say, the parents maybe need to speak up and out more to the higher ups in these corporations, and maybe somewhere along the line, can the school decide, be more transparent with the parents, saying, okay, this is what we're facing.
Right.
Here is the bid from this company A, company B.
Right.
Company A has the lower bid, but poor quality food.
Right.
Company B has higher prices, but your kids are guaranteed to get better food. So are the parents willing to step? Maybe the parents might be willing to say, okay, let me put extra $1 here, extra something. I don't know what can be done.
The conversation probably that parents need to have is not necessarily with these companies. It's more with your administrators and your school board, because they're the ones that do the hiring. And I can tell you from personal experience that the vast majority of our school board members and the vast majority of our administrators, they care.
Okay.
From the bottom of their heart, they care. In fact, I know a couple of school board members at my children's school who actually go and have school lunch quite frequently, just so that they can taste exactly what the children are eating, because they know that it was their charge. They're the ones that hired that company. But again, it's a company. What happens when you're dealing with a company? So have those conversations with your administrators and your school board. You're the ones that elected to put those school board members into place. So you're the ones that have the voice, and your tax dollars pay the administrators' salaries. I don't say that in a negative term. I just say that to encourage each one to understand that you have a role to play. Like I said prior, get engaged. Whatever it is, whatever your heart draws you to. If it's something negative like school lunches, get engaged. If it's something positive like Reflections Art, get engaged. Whatever it is, use your voice and get engaged. And remember, the new ESSA law, Every Student Succeeds Act, says that parents are to be meaningfully consulted. So the law tells you to get engaged.
All right, so that is your homework assignment for the rest of this year until school's out, until eternity. Get engaged.
That's right.
Parents, friends, grandparents, aunties, uncles, whoever. And let's encourage more men to get in the school system.
Absolutely.
As well.
And don't tell me you don't have the time, because everybody has time to shoot an email. Everybody has the time.
On KLEK 102.5 FM. A program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.